4 back again, and just want to do a quick, well, I don't know if quick is possible, this thing. This is the Dark Knight trilogy, the Joker, first official release from the InArt company. I did start to open it, but figured I'd work this into part of my review, since this is a very unusual setup here. This is the box, and they have these belts that you have wrapped around, like kind of similar to what they do with 1/4 statues. Came with this envelope in it too. It comes with a bunch of like an extensive like user guide. Tells you all about the figure and body and all kinds of stuff in there, along with another envelope. It comes with like certificates and stuff. And this card here. Usually gives the date and time, everything was made or just started to be made back in May of last year, 2022. 10 a.m. That's crazy. So, very nice presentation, although a bit overkill, but I guess, you know, it warrants it based on the amount of stuff they have in there. Look at this. So they have everything kind of wrapped up, like parts and everything. They have the head sculpts in these cylinders. There's the base. I would assume that the jail diorama is underneath it, because this is the deluxe set that comes with the 2 bodies and the jail scene diorama. So I'm going to pause this and kind of unpack a couple of these things so we can kind of take a look at it and review it. I'll be right back. All right, so let's break this down in pieces. All right, so out of the box, once you remove the plastic bags over the bodies that are protecting the outfits and the figures, you get this. And, you know, as you can clearly see, you have the 2 versions, right? You have the non-jacket one where he's kind of like when he's in the jail cell, right? Or whatever. And then you have the jacket. Now, first off, right out of bed, I will say that judging the bodies on their own merit, it's fantastically done. I mean, the high quality clothing, the figures do stand well on their own. Like I didn't have much effort to, there's the chain and the pants, all the details. There's the under suit jacket there, plus then obviously the same outfit that this guy has, just minus the jacket and the coat and the suit jacket. So my first impression is the bodies are great, very easy to stand on their own. I mean, there's not a lot of effort to get them to stand on their own, okay? Now here's the base that comes with it by default, and there is a magnetic. Now I see why some may worry about it tilting, because you have to kind of get them to stand correctly once you get that center of gravity where the magnets are at the best, and that would be towards the front where it says Dark Knight Joker. So this is obviously the front, and then as long as you get him in that area, you know, if you deviate from that, I could see where he may fall. Now, I don't think he falls as easily as some people have portrayed, maybe stirring the pot a bit, but because that's a pretty strong magnet. Look at this, I'm picking this up, and he's the magnets on the feet are sticking to the base. So this is not something that's flimsy, but I could see where it could be flimsy if you're not paying attention. You don't kind of put them on the base correctly, okay? And either one of these bodies magnetized. Now you see he slipped. Now you just see he started to slip. He started to fall there. He started to tilt because I didn't really get him in the right spot, right? So let me see if I can mess with his feet a little bit. You know, again, you have to find that center of gravity there, but he can fall. And to be honest with you, in some ways, he's more in danger of falling trying to put him on the stand than if you just stand him naturally. But there you go. Once you get that center of gravity going and the magnets are kind of in the right spot, it's a little awkward. So I would give it a little bit of a negative there, just in the fact that, you know, maybe they should have made the whole base magnetized so that you can kind of pick and choose where you want to stand them instead of finding that perfect, you know, sweet spot, basically. But once he's on there, he stands. And as you can also see, you know, pretty strong, okay? The base is nice, has the nice flooring there and stuff like that, looks cool. But again, like I said, you know, if you don't use the base, the bodies are very sturdy. The joints are stiff, so, you know, you can stand them safely on their own. Now, here are the head sculpts, and I haven't even taken them out of the cylinders. It obviously comes with 2, and again, this is the deluxe set, and this is the rooted hair version, not the sculpted hair. And I mean, honestly, the way they pack this thing and display this thing, I almost don't want to take the heads out of these things. And as you can see, slightly different expressions. There's a glare there a little bit, so I'm trying to get like that sweet spot where you don't see the glare as much. And I will take it out and put them on the figures. I just wanted to show you this. So this is kind of like a more serious face. Okay, and then this is kind of more like a smirking. And I would imagine you could pick and choose. I mean, my first thought would be that this would be for this guy when he's kind of sitting in the jail cell diorama. And this would be more for this version. But honestly, you can kind of swap them around any way you want. And as you can see, easy access, they set up a magnet system there for the neck too. So you can see there and you can see there. So there is a magnet, so easily swappable and probably fairly easy to pop them on and kind of stay put and display it and pose them. All right, so I'm going to get these head sculpts out of here and then I'm going to continue with this, okay? Be right back. All right, so the one thing I'm going to say is in order to get the head out of this thing, you definitely want to read the instructions, the instruction booklet that it tells you exactly how to remove it. So once you do that, all right, so here's the one head sculpt out. So for the sake of the review, I'm not gonna take out this guy for now. You get the point with this one. Like I said, same idea, same magnet, just different expression. But I will say, I am very impressed with the head sculpt and very impressed with the whole thing. Now, again, once he's in there on the magnet, you can swivel him around, you can go down, you can go further up. You know, there's definitely mobility there. It's a little different than a normal neck adapter kind of setup with the, you know, being on a peg. So you want to be a little careful, but you can move them and you can get all kinds of different angles and what have you. And I have to say, he's very impressive. Now, I do believe, I haven't looked into it yet, I got to look at the directions. I think, and if I'm wrong, I'm going to put it in a credits on the bottom of the screen here. I think this has a PERS moving eye system, if I'm not mistaken, where you can move the eyes. And I think I saw in the directions there's a way to do that. Probably somewhere back here, but I want to make sure I didn't dream that. So if I'm wrong, you'll see words pop up on the screen here saying, no, that is not correct, or yes, I confirmed. That's, actually, if you don't see words, that means that I did confirm that is correct, because I saw that. I wasn't really paying attention, but I believe in the directions here somewhere, it does go over about being able to, let me look at all that's involved here. We're putting together the, I mean, this is some review I have to do here. I mean, this is work to kind of get this thing going. There's where they show you how to remove the head. Okay. And I believe somewhere down around here is where they showed, let me stop this for a second. I'll be right back to see if I can find that to confirm that right now. Okay, yeah, so as I suspected, just like Hot Toys has done, they have a PERS system, so you can remove the face off, you see, or the back of the head off, and then you can swivel his eyes, and you can actually position his eyes. So I'm going to try that, all right? I'm going to try to do that so I could show you guys here and kind of see if I could change his eye position so you can kind of get an idea of how that looks, all right? So I'll be right back. All right, so there you go. So his eyes are now kind of tilted. I kind of gave it to the side kind of look. And you know what? It is actually pretty super easy. And to quote the guy that does all the pitch meeting videos, reviews on movies, barely an inconvenience. So basically back here, you pop the back of his head open like that. And there's the little lever. Okay, see that right there? And you just move that around left to right or whatever you want. And it's camouflaged really well, because then you just seal it back up and you can't even, I mean, you can't even see it. That's why I wasn't sure until I had to recheck myself and make sure that it actually is capable of doing that, or that it wasn't the sculpted only. But yeah, you could do that, and look at that. And then you can you can go up, down, or left to right, just like, and the PERS system is really nice, really smooth. You don't feel like it's delicate at all. So very impressed, very, very, very impressed overall. And again, you just kind of secure them in there so the magnet kind of does its thing, and then there it is. Very, very well done. All right, I'm starting to get more and more impressed with this as I start breaking it down. Now, this is a Heath Ledger custom one I've had just to compare head sculpts. And I always thought this one was fantastic, and it still is. I mean, the paintwork. I picked this up off eBay a while back. This was an Owen scope, and I don't remember who painted it. It was some guy, I believe from China or Japan or Korea, that does really good Joker paint sculpts. I don't remember his name, and I apologize. But I had this for a while, and I thought this was kind of like the tops, you know. And again, it still holds up. I mean, it's definitely got a more grittier, dirtier look, and it definitely could represent a different part in the movie. I mean, he looked differently. This is kind of more of his complete makeup look, you know, not as disheveled, you know. And then this is kind of like, could look like the way he did later in the movie, or kind of like, you know, after the hit me scene or what have you, or even the jail cell scene. I mean, this probably would work on this kind of look too. But as you can see, the clothing, and this was, I believe this was the body I got from the Black Box figure. It's not the Hot Toys suit and outfit, and it wasn't bad. But, you know, comparing it, I mean, you can see plastic shoes. The pants don't flow as well. They don't fit, you know, they're not tailored as well. The jacket has kind of like, you know, the collars kind of stick up a little bit. And it's not weathered. You know, it's not really weathered that good. I mean, the inside, pretty much, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, I always didn't mind this, but I noticed that with this one too, it was always missing. Oh, no, the chain is there. I forgot. So the chain is there. So it's not bad. It's not bad for what it is. And I always liked it. But again, when you compare it to the tailoring of this, there's no contest. I mean, the clothing is definitely better. Look at the shoes. The shoes are definitely better. Overall, the shoes are very impressive compared to these. I mean, you know, this looks like a plastic, you know, this looks like a toy compared to the shoes here. So, I mean, and then you can see the way the pants drape. They're much more natural. They kind of cover the ankles better, and they don't look like they're just kind of just making it like these. But again, I mean, I wasn't unhappy with this version. I mean, this was my kind of prime, and I have a couple others too. I mean, I went pretty crazy with Heath Ledger Joker. So I have a lot of variants. I have these other head sculpts I had picked up, you know, with different scenes that I was going to make other custom figures out of at some point. You know, so different sculpts and different people painting them throughout the years. So, you know, just comparing, I mean, they look great, you know, and they do have somewhat of a realism, but I mean, you know, this does have more, believe it or not, it does have more of a polished look, you know, overall. I mean, it's just, look at that. That's definitely Heath Ledger, man. That's really great. That's a great job. And I'm not going to say that it totally blows these type of sculpts like out of the water, but it definitely, you definitely get your money's worth here, especially if you didn't have any Heath Ledger Jokers. This is definitely worth. I mean, but like I said, you know, this could work. You know, this one could definitely work for either of the bodies, or, you know, if you wanted to kind of get a custom head and kind of utilize something different, you could, you know. But honestly, you know, you don't really have to. I mean, this one is not as good. This one definitely, you know, I would definitely stick, especially with the fact that these are made to go with these bodies and the magnet system and all that. So, you know, just to compare. So again, definitely both look great, you know, for different reasons, but, you know, this one definitely does scream Heath Ledger and reminds me of certain looks and scenes in the movie, and it is very well done and painted and sculpted very well. But this one also is very nice. Now, some people have complained about the little zit that it looks like he has there with the paint job. I don't mind it too much. I think, and it's meant to be there. It's on both sculpts. And if you look at the custom one, it's kind of also there, just maybe not as prominent. So maybe a little touch up there, maybe, you know, just a little bit with the paintwork, but that's a minor gripe. Overall, very well done. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can set up and show more of the set that comes with this thing. It's a monster, so it's going to take a little time. So I'm going to do this in steps, all right? Be right back. All right, guys, so look at this. And I love the little details, like when you sit him down, you can then see his socks. His colorful socks there underneath. All right, showing. And this base that depicts him in the jail cell, just wanted to show this as an example that it comes with these other realistic looking forearms and hands, so you can kind of pull the shirt up a bit, show that, and it looks very realistic, no joints. These are the hands that came on the figure out of the box that I kind of have in the, you know, trying to mimic the scene where he's clapping, you know, when they promote Commissioner Gordon right there, right? There's Batman looming behind him. But, you know, they have various other forearms and hands that you can swap with. And look how realistic, look at the paintwork, look how realistic that looks. You know, this is like the pointing, like, yeah, you know, you kind of get the idea. So you can have a lot of fun with this. And this base also has the, well, it has the Dark Knight logo here. And then there's also a Dark Knight or Joker named on the back of this, on the back side. So that if you're displaying him, I guess, in a case or somewhere where you could see the other side, it has something on the back here as well that says the Joker or the Dark Knight Joker, something like that. In fact, I don't remember exactly, but I noticed that and I wasn't sure which way was the right way until I realized, obviously, where you put the jail cage into the slots back here that fit right in there. And actually, this was a lot quicker and simpler than I thought it was going to be to set it up for the sake of this review. It's quite easy. There's also like a magnetic system in here that I feel on the base as well, that it feels like he can, like, you could feel there's resistance. So just like this base has, this has a magnetic system in there too. So he kind of sits securely. The cage and the bars, the jail bars, are phenomenal. The weathering, the paintwork, I mean, it looks realistic. It really does. It looks so good. And then, you know, you combine this with, like, if you have the old Hot Toys DX set, you know, the second edition that came with the interrogation room diorama, and you put these side by side, which I do have, that's quite a display you can have. Now, I took this hand off the other Joker I wanted to show you, so I put one of his weapons. There's his infamous switchblade that he used many times. You know how I got these scars? So that's my favorite look of him. And then, of course, the other custom Joker I showed you earlier in the vid, I have him holding the machine gun, which he does come with this set as well. He does come with that accessory. The accessories are ridiculous. Okay, I'll show you that separately. I mean, it comes with handcuffs. It comes with cash, like money. It comes with a deck of playing cards. He comes with a ton of extra of these hands. And again, everything magnetic, so very easily swappable. Okay, you just swap it right out. It even comes with extra, like for this figure, it comes with extra forearm pieces so that you could swap it out as well, that have the peg for the hands. So I'll show you that last in the vid. I'm just going to give you a quick view of that, because if I go over it, this review is going to be like 3 hours long. But I have to say, I'm really ultimately impressed. You know, you can argue all day long whether this is the best head sculpt out there, if there's some customs that are better, if the paint works best. And, you know, yeah, but, you know, for something that's like technically commercially released, and this is their first release, I mean, to me, overall, what you get here and the presentation and the care and everything that was put into it, I mean, it feels so high-end. It feels so, like, upper class as far as, like, the presentation, the tailoring. It feels like a high-end custom, I have to say, even though it's commercially released. And let me tell you, they really came through. And if this is one of many they're going to be doing, this is going to be a serious contender. I mean, this is what you would call a high-end, collectible, commercially released, you know, figure. Because you're paying almost what you would pay for almost like a custom figure, but it's commercial, but you get so much more. I mean, with this diorama alone, I mean, if somebody made this custom along with the figure, I mean, it would be worth a lot more, or they would charge a lot more than what these guys are charging. So it's a great deal. I mean, you're getting 2-in-1 as well. So, you know, you at the end of the day, if you bought one of these, or if you consider the price separate, you're talking 500 and change per figure. So, you know, for double, you're getting both figures, full sets, full bodies, 2 full clothing sets, a diorama, tons of accessories, 2 bases, basically. Ridiculous. Okay, so I have to say, I am very, very, very impressed. And I did mess with the purrs a little bit there, kind of making his eyes look a little bit more up, like going towards his forehead there. Give him a little bit more of a sinister look. So you can kind of tell more there that I kind of upped the eyes a bit. But the amount of fun that you can have with this guy, holy cow. Why so serious? So I'm going to give you one last glance at the box and all the other stuff that comes. I mean, I'm not even going to have time to unwrap everything. I mean, you get the point. I mean, he comes with other gloved hands, tons of other glove hands to hold the different weapons, a few different various weapons, more of these hands, you know, sets to swap out these arms. Very easy. These pop right off too, you know, kind of, again, all magnetic, which is very smart. I think more companies should start doing this. Very easy, and it's safer. You know, you're not breaking pieces or snapping pegs or anything like that. It's all magnetic. You know, and I think it's good. I mean, there's even discussion in the manual that I was looking at, the instruction guide, the owner guide, of a warranty on this thing. So I mean, say what you want, but I have their Pennywise pre-ordered, and now I'm really excited to get it. And I got the Hot Toys Pennywise too because it was on sale. And a buddy of mine also collects with me. Shout out to Rick, who's probably going to be watching this with bated breath because he want to know what I thought about this. So shout out to him. You know, he suggested to me I pick up the Hot Toys Pennywise as well because they do come with an awesome base on that one, in the sewer base where you see the Pennywise head sculpt in the sewer. And then you combine that with the InArt figure and maybe possibly work in the second head sculpt from the Hot Toys set with it, or just whatever, just because of the accessories that they both would come with together. And again, you got a killer display and a killer set. So yeah, so anyway, let me pause this one more time, show you the rest of the, you know, quick look at the rest of the accessories, and we'll call it a day with this thing. But kudos, man, kudos to InArt. This is a great, promising start to hopefully a long and expensive future for us. So quickly, as you can see, there's other hands. I opened up a few so you could see, and they're all individually wrapped in these protective bags, which is a really nice touch. So these are kind of like more, I think, like of the hands that you could put on the jail cell version, where he's kind of resting it on his legs or on the bench. This gun that has some real weight to it. This is no joke. This is metal, and this is metal too. This is actual metal handcuffs. And here's the gun. Again, heavy. The one you saw in my custom Joker before that I thought looked really good, which it does, but it's a toy compared to this thing. This thing is metal and heavy. It feels like pewter. Really nice detailed. Deck of playing cards. I didn't even bother unwrapping these yet. Money. Stacks of money. You can kind of see it through the plastic. And in addition to that, like I said, there's so many more. So here's those extra forearms they give you for the main figure that has the magnetic in there. You can kind of see it through the plastic bag. Like I said, I don't have time to open them all. Other gloved hands to hold all the different weapons right there, right there, right there. Amazing. Amazing for sure. And then in addition to that, check this out here. They also give you the grenades, because on the inner jacket, I didn't point it out when I showed the Joker figure with the purple jacket, the trench coat, but it does have the gear set up on his left side of the jacket that you could set up the grenades. That he could, you know, in that scene when he threatens to blow everybody up in the mafia meeting room there. Hot Toys did this too, but as you can see here, this is very nice. I didn't notice them right away, but there they are. Look at that. So they even give you the grenades for the inner jacket as well if you want to go that route. So definitely amazing. So overall, once again, A+. Seriously. All right, guys. That was one long review, but it was worth it. Till next time, guys. JoeBiz34. Peace out.